A proven chip underneath, a Super AMOLED display, a humongous battery, lots of megapixels. On paper, the P2 reads like a dream. A mid-range dream, but a dream nonetheless. So, is this Lenovo P2 as good as, well, Lenovo claims it is? Or is there more to this phone than meets the eye? Well, let's find out in this video. But before we do, if this is your first time here or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash, this is C4eTech and you're watching our full review of the Lenovo P2. The P2 is built out of metal. The quality seems good, it's got a bit of heft to it given that it weighs in at around 175 grams. That actually makes it feel more solid than heavy or bulky. That's thanks in large to the phone being just 8.3mm thick, along with the subtle curves to the edges on the back and the chamfering. The metal around the camera and the dual tone dual LED flash to the back are nice touches that actually look cool. Anyway, let's now take a closer look at the placements. To the front, on top, we've got the sensors, earpiece, a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, and a notification LED. That's followed by a 5.5-inch display and a sole physical key at the bottom. We'll talk about that in a bit. To the back, we've already seen that, so let's move on to up top. We've got the 3.5mm headphone jack, a secondary noise cancelling microphone. To the right, we've got the power button and the volume rockers. The micro USB port, speaker, and the primary microphone reside at the bottom. The hybrid tray and a switch can be found to the left. This hybrid tray can take either two SIMs or a SIM and a micro SD card. The switch here is useless, just a waste of space. What does it do? It triggers Lenovo's useless ultimate power saving mode. Why do I call it useless? It disables Wi-Fi and data, and the only apps you can use are calls and messages. And of course, like the clock and whatnot, making the P2 a dumb phone. You'll see how good the battery is in a bit. And for a phone with this kind of battery, people needing to resort to the ultimate power saving mode, I mean, the demographic is minuscule. And even those who use similar modes, with other brands will know that you can do a lot more with other brands, like say include WhatsApp and whatnot, but you can't do that with a P2, making it an extremely dumb phone. I would at least like to see Lenovo let us program this switch so that you can have it as a toggle for the silent mode or lock orientation or launch the camera or anything but wasting a switch for the ultimate power saving mode. Anyway, that said, it's just a small switch, it's not really hurting anyone. So overall, I do actually like what Lenovo's done with the build here. The switch was just me nitpicking. Anyway, what I really like about this build is the fact that this phone doesn't feel like one with a 5100 mAh battery inside. A build that doesn't reflect the huge battery capacity underneath is definitely the biggest pro here. Anyway, enough about the build. I've been going over and over. I like it. I'm pretty sure I've made that clear by now. So how do the internals fare? Underneath the hood, the P2 is powered by the Snapdragon 625 chip. Now that's 8 A53 cores, clocked up to 2 GHz each, coupled with an Adreno 506 GPU and either 3 or 4 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of onboard storage. The 625, as you all probably know, is built on the 14nm FinFET process, so it's extremely power efficient. Now, taking into account that the P2 has a 5100 mAh battery, the battery life is absolutely nuts. 2 days with moderate to heavy usage, and often I ended up plugging the phone in only on the third day. So testing this was horrible. I had to use it for almost 10 days to even get to like 4 or 5 charge cycles. So it was really annoying. Anyway, you'd probably, with real day-to-day usage, only have to charge this phone about 3 times a week. And even when you actually plug it in, the rapid charger that comes with it gets you to full charge in a couple of hours to about 50% in 30 minutes, about 70% in an hour, and the last 30% takes an hour. Well, that might not sound too fast. Remember, this is a mammoth 5100 mAh battery inside. Here, check out this charge test with the OnePlus 3T to get an idea of how fast the P2 actually charges. Also, the fact that the P2 sports a 5.5-inch Super AMOLED display helps because AMOLED displays consume lesser power than their LCD counterparts. This, by the way, is a sweet AMOLED panel covered by 2.5D Gorilla Glass 3, reasonably sharp at about 400 pixels per inch, has good color reproduction, bright enough to be legible outdoors, with excellent viewing angles as well. Whether it's consuming media, browsing the internet, or gaming, the display is excellent. Talking about gaming, this is not just a power efficient chip. With intensive scenarios like gaming, the 625 on the P2 held its own, managed to run even some of the more intense titles with ease. And it never got hot either. The audio output via the speaker was also surprisingly loud. Not just loud, but rich too. And the same goes for audio via the 3.5mm headphone jack too. I had no issues with cellular reception or call quality. The P2 also supports GeoVolt out of the box. Now, let's quickly switch to cameras. The P2 sports a 13 megapixel camera with the f2.0 aperture, there's support for face detection out of focus, but sadly, no optical image stabilization. Under bright light, the still images turned out great, good level of detail, accurate colors, the dynamic range is quite good too. Under low light though, the performance dips. It is quite average, not a lot of detail, noise creeps in. Given the segment, it's acceptable I guess. The P2 can shoot 4K video, but that is where it actually gets a little disappointing. It's not the video quality that's to blame, that's fine. Sharp, reasonable detail, good colors, but that awful focus hunting, that and the lack of stabilization makes the footage unusable here in my opinion. That's kind of disappointing. The 5 megapixel front camera is, well, a 5 megapixel shooter that performs almost exactly as you would expect a 5 megapixel shooter to perform in this segment. No surprises. And with that, let's talk software. The P2 is currently running on Android 6 Marshmallow with Lenovo's Lenovo Pure on top. There's a bit of bloat here that can be easily uninstalled, so that's kind of nice. Lenovo's thrown in a bunch of their own customization options here. First, of course, is a theme engine to let you choose how you want your phone, or rather your home screen, to look. There's quite a bit of themes here and they are all quite good. The physical home key to the bottom, that's kind of like UTouch Lite for those who've seen my ZUK Z2 Plus coverage. So basically, you can disable the on-screen keys and just use a one-key solution. Tap it for back, tap and hold for recent tabs, press it for home, press and hold for now on tap. It's a nice addition given that it's optional. I actually like it. Personally, I liked it enough to use that setup for the 8 days that I used the P2 as my primary device. The home key also has a fingerprint scanner built in and is reasonably accurate. It is an active scanner, meaning you don't have to press the key for it to scan your fingerprint. Just place your finger on it and you're done. Then there are other Lenovo features like White Touch, that's basically a floating key of shortcuts. Knock to Light, that's basically tap to wake. And you can also set double apps so that you can have 2 instances of the same app on your phone. The VR option, that's Theater Max. You've seen that in the past. If you want more information, here's a card to my video on Theater Max. And of course, there's Secure Zone that lets you have a totally different profile with a totally different set of apps on the same phone. Overall, the user experience here is excellent. Whether it's launching apps, gaming, or browsing, it all feels fast and fluid. The RAM management too is top notch. By the way, I used a 4GB RAM variant for testing here. So with that, let's talk price. The 3GB RAM variant is priced at 17,000 Indian rupees, whereas the 4GB RAM variant costs 1,000 rupees more. So is the P2 worth the asking price? Well, the obvious cheaper alternative to it is the Redmi Note 4. The 4GB RAM variant of the Redmi Note 4 is priced at 13,000 rupees. So here, for about 5,000 rupees more, what do you get? Well, you get half the storage to begin with, since the Redmi Note 4 4GB variant comes with 64 gigs of onboard storage. But you get arguably a better build, better cameras despite the issues with video, a much improved Super AMOLED display, a 25% higher capacity battery. So what do you think? Do you think these are things that you're willing to pay 5,000 rupees extra for? If yes, then sure, the P2 is a great pick. However, if you have the patience to endure Xiaomi's flash sales and don't find these worth paying 5,000 rupees extra for, then the Redmi Note 4 could serve you quite well too. Alternatively, if battery life wasn't high on your list of priorities, you can get a Z2 Plus that's got a much better chip inside. Its battery life is not bad, but it's nowhere close to how good it's on the P2. That said, there are other issues with the Z2 Plus like this. Anyway, that's it for my 2 cents on the P2. Do you agree with what I've had to say in this video? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. By the way, if you hated this video for some reason, let me know the reason and also click that thumbs down button. But if you did like it, again, let me know the reason and give this video a big huge thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have already subscribed, make sure you do this so that you get notified every time a video goes live on Z4eTech. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from That Channel Without TV Ads signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye now.